What's up, Ranger Nation? It is your boy JB, and we are here today with a review for Power Rangers Dino Fury episode number 20. And this is the episode before the finale. Now, this episode was titled Waking Nightmares, you guys. Now, before we go ahead and talk about this episode, shall we get the pleasantries out the way? If you guys are watching this video or any other on the channel, Ranger Nation, what I need you guys to do for me is just to kindly smash that subscribe button, hit the like button, and turn on your notifications, and share this video, Ranger Nation. And with that out the way, without further ado, Ranger Nation, let us discuss episode 20, Waking Nightmares. All right, Ranger Nation. So I do want to say that this episode was really good. I enjoyed this episode a lot more than I enjoyed the last few episodes. So this episode, we open it up, and it is a dream sequence that we see, right? So Ion is having a dream about the final battle that happened 65 million years ago with he, Zato, and the other 4 Power Rangers. I really hope that at some point we get a little deeper into the story about the ancient Rangers, right? I would love to know, how did Zato and Ion survive, but the other Rangers didn't, right? Because Zato and Ion, so we see the battle. So then the final battle, they formed the Ultrazord to destroy the Sporix, which at some point, I think maybe at the next week's review, I think maybe I'll do a series wrap up, the end of the wrap up of season 1, giving my thoughts and my opinions about it. And I have some questions that I want to pose to Ranger Nation. But, you know, we saw them. So they escaped in the stasis pods. So is it safe to assume that maybe the ancient Rangers didn't have stasis pods? But there are a lot of unanswered questions, because even if they didn't have stasis pods, how did they get the Ranger powers? A lot of questions, and that might be something that we talk about in the wrap-up video. So Zato tells Ion that he has this same recurring nightmare as well, right? So Ion is wondering if they could have done things differently. I mean, I even have questions about the Sporix beast, right? But that's not for this video, but we'll eventually dig into my questions that I have, right? So then we move over to Area 62, right? Mucus. So Mucus, she is wondering, what does Void Knight's machine do, right? If she pulls the lever, what will happen? So So Void Knight comes in, he tells Mucus not to pull the lever, but she does. He says, "Oh, Mucus, it'll make whoever touches it cool." She's like, "As if I couldn't get any cooler. I can." And she has this gold all over her. I absolutely enjoy, I love Mucus. I love Mucus. If you guys don't know, I love Mucus. And I also love Slither. Slither and Mucus are my 2 favorite characters. But we find out that Mucus is actually having a dream, and Slither is trying to wake her up and telling her, "Hey, Void Knight is not going to like the fact that you're touching his machine," right? So, you know, Mucus is asking, Void Knight, when is he going to power up the machine? Mucus says to her, "Whenever you give me enough Sporix to power that up." So that's that. So then we see the Rangers. So the Rangers are with Dr. Akana. Now you guys remember, in the last episode, they were looking for the buried treasure of Blackbeard, right? Or was it Brownbeard? No, Brownbeard is Operation Overdrive. So it's Blackbeard, Purplebeard, that's his name. So they dug up the treasure, right? And Dr. Akana presents it to the Rangers. So the Rangers open it, and there are 2 new Dino keys in there, right? So it is the Light Dino key and the Shadow Dino key. So the Light Dino key can break magical curses, and the Shadow Dino key, it holds the battle mode that can make a black hole. And then if you combine the 2 keys together, they can create the Cosmic Dino key, which has the power to open up portals to anywhere, right? So if they wanted to open up a portal and go to the Time Force, go see the Time Force Rangers, pretty sure they could do that. If they want to open up a portal and go to Miranoi, they could do that. If they want to open up a portal and go to the Lost Galaxy, they can do that. Well, speaking of the Lost Galaxy, there's actually nobody in the Lost Galaxy, because everyone within the Lost Galaxy has been defeated. So the Lost Galaxy is free and open for anybody at this point. So they can go anywhere they want. They can go to the Dino Charge dimension. They can go to the Dino Charge, go portal, go see the Dino Charge Rangers or the RPM Rangers. So they can go wherever they want. So then we see, as the Rangers are looking for the two Zords that are attached to the Light Dino Key and the Shadow Dino Key. So Solon tells the Rangers that it appears that the Light Dino Key and the Shadow Dino Key, the Zords, the accompanying Zords, they're on a distant planet by the name of, what's the name of that planet? Nibiru. I got that right. So remember, I told you guys that Ion said that if you combine the Light and the Shadow Dino Key, that you can then open a portal. So he combines the keys, he opens the portal to Nibiru. So they open a portal. So Zato, they were kind of talking about about going through the portal. But I think at the one point they were like, we're not gonna go. But Zato says, I'll go. So Zato goes through the portal. Once he gets through the portal, he gets scanned, right? And then after he gets scanned, we see the four ancient, the green, the pink, the blue, the black Rangers. We see them, and they show up, and and immediately they charge towards Zato. And when they charge towards Zato, that's when the portal became a little bit unstable and the portal closed, right? So when the portal closed, Ion, he tried to, open it back up, but he's unable to open it up because Solon tells him that with the Zords not being close by, that with the Zords not being close, that there's not much that, it doesn't have the Zord, with the Zords not being close, the keys don't have their power. The Zords are not there, so the keys don't have the full logistics of their power. So Dr. Akana, she calls the Rangers because when they found the Dino keys originally, she asked them could she study, the statues at Dino Hinge, and they were like, go ahead, right? So Dr. Akana calls them on the Ranger hotline. So the Rangers go to see Dr. Akana, and she tells them that she's done a little studying of the keys, and she realizes that the keys are connected to the morphing grid. So Ion, he has the keys in his hands. So he goes and touches one of the statues, and when he touches the statue powers up the keys. Meanwhile, Slither and Void Knight, they're overhearing this conversation. So Void Knight thinks, hey, if he can get the power from the morphing grid, that will then help him power up his machine. So we then see as Ion was able to open up the portal, and he went through it. So let's move forward, you guys. So Void Knight, we're back at his lair, and he releases Regal. So when he releases Regal, he's giving Regal a second chance, right? So he tells Regal, hey, what I want for you to do is for you to bring back Boom Tower for me, right? So he's revived Boom Tower. So Boom Tower's cannons that he has, right? He revives his he has his cannonballs, right? So he's powered them up, a little bit more than they have more power than before. And also Boom Tower needs a Sporix. So he takes the Sporix from Slither. So then we see the Rangers, right? Well, we move back over to Nibiru, where Ion, he is with Zato. So Zato and Ion, they're fighting with the ancient team, right? And they keep repeating themselves. And they're repeating what happened in the last battle about, the Sporix were too much, the Zord was about to be destroyed and whatnot, right? And Ion eventually realized, hey, I've heard this before. This is from the final battle that we had 65 million years ago, right? So then we see the other Rangers. They find Boom Tower and Mucus, right? So, remember I told you that Void Knight told Boom Tower that his cannonballs have more power than before. So he throws some of them at the Rangers, and they just sit there and burst open. They just sitting there wide open. And, Amelia is like, Wow, Boom Tower. Okay. So then the Rangers morph, and when the Rangers morph, the explosion that was behind them, it caused it caused it caused for another explosion in front of them. So then they start battling, and when they're battling, the explosions are going off, and because Boom Tower shot another set of cannonballs at them, and those are going off. Those are going off at the same time, right? So we move back over with Zato and Ion, right? So Zato and Ion, they were still battling with their team from 65 million years ago, right? And then that's when they finally figured out what they were. They finally figured out that they were not really there, that they were just, I guess, holograms, you would say, of what happened in the final battle, because they kept regurgitating what happened. So they demorphed, and then they they did their whatever, they did their little saying that they had, right? So then those Rangers disappeared, and up pops the Guardian of Nibiru, right? So he tells them that he did that to protect his planet, but Zato leaves, right? So the Guardian of Nibiru tells Ion that he'll help him find the Zords. So he does take him to find the Zords. So then the Rangers, they move back over there where so we move back over there where the Rangers are, and Zato has joined them. So then they figure out what's causing explosions. It's invisible gas. It's invisible gas. So once Ion has found the Zords, he returns. He calls on he uses the Shadow Dino key to create a black hole, and the black hole, which was kind of weird. I guess the black hole sucked up the gas. I was looking at that. I'm like, did it suck up the gas? So then Boom Tower grew. So the Rangers called on their Zords, and Ion called on his with the two new Zords. So now, see, I don't know if they defeated Boom Tower or Boom Tower, because Boom Tower was sucked into a black hole. So I don't know if Boom Tower is gone and he can come back, but we shall see, right? So we're done with that battle, and then Solon calls the Rangers to let them know, hey, Void Knight has taken all of Dr. Econa's equipment. So now the Rangers have to figure out what Void Knight's plan is. And that is going to lead us into our season finale of season 1. So this, like I said, this was a good episode. I enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys thought about it. Please leave your comments down in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell button so you guys are notified of when I drop anything else. Share the video, and until the next one, guys, stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves. Remember to wash your hands, wear a mask, socially distance, be blessed, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.